Welcome back to Purple Collar Life. It's another maple tree cleanup day, but we're now to the parts of the round that are too heavy to keep the split fire from tipping over. So Jennifer's here to help me. She's got the camera going right now, but she'll be the one to help ballast the other side of the split fire so that when I'm lifting these big rounds up, we don't tip over to the side. I also brought the big tool rack with the chainsaw just in case any of these are even too big for me to roll. We might have to noodle them, and I think some of them are still stuck together a little bit, so we might have to just touch them up to get them separated onto the splitter. So we got those rounds moved, and you can see we were right in the crotch of the tree, so there were some pieces that we couldn't split through. Some of the first pieces that the split fire couldn't muscle through, but we ended up, you just take a little chip off them at a time, and having two people helps because it keeps it from tipping to the side. So how many rounds do you think we did? 3?
Probably only 3 or 4, yeah.
So I think 3 rounds. Jennifer's got the big tool rack pretty filled up. We're gonna take it up and unload it and then come back for more.
What's the plan?
Well, these ones that don't need split, we can just go ahead and put in the big tool rack, and then I can roll these ones out to split them. So before we got started here, we picked out 3 rounds, and this is exactly 3 rounds in the back of the big tool rack. What do you think about that, Jennifer?
That's a lot of wood for just 3 rounds.
Yeah, and these were hard ones to split. They're much bigger, you know, in diameter, and I can only imagine once we get over to those ones how difficult they're going to be. We might have to cut them with the chainsaw and noodle them.
Nah.
All right, let's get the tractor back up through the mud and unload these ones.
Okay. I like your garbage bag seat.
The mice were eating foam in the shed. That's why this really should be parked in the garage, and any of our cars that could sit out would just sit out.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you've done that before.
Either that or we get a cat just for in the shed.
Sure, we can do that.
I never know if I should just keep rutting up the same exact tire tracks or if I should try to spread it out. What's your opinion?
I don't know. You got ruts everywhere.
Like Mike Morgan and get a whole second set of driveway, a lot of shale and gravel in here.
Yeah, let's do that. Perfect. I thought you were going to run over my little tree here.
What kind of tree is it? Smart tree here?
I don't know. There's no leaves on it.
It's a maple.
Smarty pants.
You know how you can tell? You look at the buds. Those are maple buds. And you look at the bark.
Oh, aren't you? You probably remember it from when it had leaves in this fall.
Maybe. Everything's getting really muddy in the yard, of course, up the hill, but I hate to see my yard getting so muddy here. Tires are all muddy on the tractor. Jennifer asked earlier what this garbage bag on my seat's for. I told her it's because the mice here in the shed keep climbing onto my seat, and then they're ripping apart the coating of the seat, pulling out the styrofoam underneath. So I thought garbage bag would protect it a little bit. We're gonna walk up and I'll show you how much we got done today. We're working on our second cord up there in the woods. So we already have one full cord from the trees that were cut in the fall, and we're working on our second one. So we've got 6 more really big rounds here, 2 smaller rounds, that initial wedge cut or the cut off of the stump, and then this crotch piece. This is going to be a really hard one to cut through. I may cut it with the chainsaw first. So let's go. You can kind of see my wood pile up through the woods there. Let's go check it out. So our wood stack's looking pretty good here. This is all red oak. So if you remember, red oak and oak is my favorite. So that's this much of it. This is a mix of red oak and maple. It's all the limbs that I saved. That's what all this is in this area. And then this is some more red oak right here. From here to here is red oak. And then from here on down so far is our maple. So got a lot of good firewood here. This is, like I say, the first cord ended right here. We're working on our second cord right now. Kind of ran out of space in my wood yard here, so I'll have to find somewhere else after I fill this up, because I don't want to go too close to the little tree, and then we've got another tree on the other side there. But this has been good to come up the path and just back in here. It's nice that we own this piece of land now, but it's getting pretty wet, and it's only going to get worse in the springtime. So there's actually water laying in here. My guess would be there's probably a spring that forms this ditch and goes right the whole way down there. We have a lot of springs on our property. If you like this video, make sure you give us a thumbs up, leave those comments down below, and we'll see you again the next time. So if you remember, where I'm putting this firewood row is actually right in front of this old oil well. I've showed you what this casing is from. The oil and gas days here in Northwest Pennsylvania, and this is still a well that's not filled off. So if there were a time that oil prices went crazy, potentially we could put a rig in here, re-clean this well out, and pump oil out of it.